Well, folks, today's video is about the topic of speed. All right. Now, if you are a trainer, workshop facilitator, coach, or mentor, you need to appreciate that there is a very strong correlation between speed, momentum, engagement, and people's level of attention and how much they are able to actually pay attention to you, right? Now, I want to tell you about two quick stories, right? Now, myself as a trainer facilitator, I recently ran a workshop for some firefighters, right? And firefighters are amazing. I love firefighters, not in a weird way, but I really enjoy teaching firefighters. They're epic. They just have a GSD mentality of get shit done, right? They just love to get shit done, which is awesome. But what you need to appreciate is if you're teaching firefighters, you as a presenter also need to have that mentality of get shit done, right? So you need to match the pace that they actually think at, right? And if you walk in and you're speaking too slowly or you're drawing the energy down in the room, you're going to find that the audience are going to get frustrated because they've got an expectation of get shit done, right? So you've got to ramp up your speed and your articulation, your delivery a little bit faster, right? Now, contrast that to recently I went to church. Yep, I did go. And, I love church and I'm a Christian. But the thing is, when you go to church, it's really, really fascinating to watch the presenter pastor on stage there. And I call them presenters for a reason because, I'm a workshop facilitator. I teach this for a living, so it's very hard not to, have the presenter hat on when I watch someone else speak from stage, right? So here's the deal though, folks. Many preachers, pastors don't really understand the concept of pacing and timing, right? And what they'll often find is that they will capture certain pockets of the audience, but not the entire audience, right? And what we see is that a lot of presenters, pastors, and nothing against them, everyone's perfect and beautiful, right? And everyone's at a different stage of presenting. And one of the hardest things about church is that when you have speaking at church, you've got so many different age groups that come into the room, right? So many people coming into church with different ideas, expectations, and different things going on in their mind, right? But also, even in a corporate environment, you've got different age groups as well. You've got different people that want different things from your workshop, right? If you're talking to business owners, you got different age groups, you got different backgrounds, you got different people that want different things from you as a presenter. Now, at church recently, I saw someone come in that was very, very hypey. It was very, very hypey, right? Very, very fast in their articulation, their delivery, and they were doing a lot of audience engagement. They would say something, they would get the audience to repeat it back, right? And that's fine. Like, there's a time and place for that, which is great, right? Time and place for that. However, there were pockets in the audience that loved it. They're like, oh my gosh, it's fantastic, right? But what we need to also consider is that there were other people in the room that actually didn't enjoy it. There were other people in the room that were of an older generation that were actually put off by it. They were put off by it. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad or anything. I'm not saying anything like that. But what I am saying is the reason they were put off is the pacing. And when we strip it back and dial all the way back, everybody is essentially a fast processor or a slow processor. And as a trainer, presenter, coach, facilitator, workshop facilitator, whatever you want to call yourself, we need to appreciate that people in your audience are either a hare or a tortoise or a hare. Now, a hare is somebody that, is somebody that's thinking really, really fast all of the time. A tortoise is somebody that likes to absorb the information, think about it, ponder on it, and all of that, right? And what we need to do as presenters is be able to understand that those two types of people in a room exist, and we need to be able to adjust our delivery accordingly. Now, I'm not saying we have to be everything for everybody, because we can't and we never will be. There's always going to be some people that we miss out, or some people that will not necessarily click with everything we do as a human, as a person. We can't be loved by everybody. However, one thing you just want to think about in your delivery is, if you want to smooth it out a little bit even more, is have more of a deliberate dedication to mastering speed. There are people, very, very awesome presenters here in Australia and beyond, that really speak very, 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 very quickly, which is great, because they've got a lot of content to get through. You may even know them, you may even think of them, you may even been to workshops with them recently. There are other presenters that speak very, very, very slowly, and they make their audience work very hard to actually stay attentive with them, right? But what I've noticed is that great trainers, presenters, coaches, facilitators, workshop facilitators are the kind of people that are able to have great dedication and commitment to, for the things that are really important, they're going to slow down. For the things that are not so important, they're going to speed up. And they're able to also have moments of reflection and quiet time, and to really let a point sink and let a point linger in the minds of the audience, all right? So whenever I go and watch any presenter, I'm basically listing under the filter of three core things. How much rapport is there with the group? How much rapport is there with the group? How much engagement is there with the group? How much healthy engagement is there? And then the last one is, how much retention of information is there? And when you've got those three pillars in mind, generally you can judge a presentation quite easily, right? And in order for there to be engagement, there must be rapport. And you start to look at presenting very, very differently when you look with these criteria, right? Rapport, engagement, and retention. And if there's no rapport, there'll be no engagement. If there's no engagement, there'll be no retention, right? And I find that this is a really, really powerful frame to have across any of the presentations I do or any of the presentations I watch. And you can generally pick what's going wrong very quickly. We just have a look at delivery under those three headings there, right? So on that note, hopefully you got some value from the video. Maybe it's started to spark some thoughts in your own mind about pace and delivery. And just be aware that depending on the age group that's in your audience, maybe they need faster, maybe they need slower, maybe they need more modulated, maybe they need, just some quiet time, some quiet thoughts. And where are you going to put that quiet time, the quiet thoughts in your delivery as well, all right? So I just wanted to plant the seed there. And again, nothing about churches, nothing bad about pastors at all, but you can always see how aware of pacing are they when they deliver, right? And even if you're in a corporate environment and you're watching your boss present or a colleague present, have a think about how aware are they of their pacing and how aware of your own pacing are you? Because this is something that you work on, you get better and better and better at as you learn to read the room and what would be the best pacing for that room. And creating and crafting the experience. On that note, folks, hope you got some value from the video. If you did, like, comment, share. Let's get the message out there and go out and have an amazing workshop facilitation day. Training day starts now. Bye for now.